Good morning, CJ Moto. Alright, here's my Spark. There she is. This is the one I talk about. If you guys aren't familiar with drones, or I'm sure you are if you're looking up this video, but this is a DJI Spark. And they've been out for quite a while. I think they've been out for, I don't know, 2 years or so. So that's pretty cool because the prices are getting way better on them. And I would definitely recommend what you want to do. So this is the box that it comes in. Okay. And it's actually really nice. I really like it. So when you open it up, for the Fly More pack, you're gonna basically get two of these batteries total. So one will be in the Spark, and then you'll get a second one. So you'll have an empty battery slot. So I would recommend going to Best Buy and price match online. Find the cheapest price you can find for one of these, and then they will price match typically anywhere almost. And I've pretty much price matched everything I've ever got at Best Buy. But what you do is you hit the button down there on the battery, and that'll tell you how much charge you have. And then everything fits in here real nice. I'll show you what it looks like with the quad in it. Everything fits in the package real nice, just like that. And I absolutely love this thing. I've had, I thought I was at like 100 flights, but I looked on my app, on my Go Fly app or whatever, it's DJI 4 app, and it tells you how many flights you have. And I actually deleted all my like little short flights. Like if you just take off for a second and land, it's gonna say you had a flight. But anyhow, so the battery, you'll pull these two tabs. I know there's lots of stuff online about these, but just wanted to give my own little 2 cents. But you pull those two tabs, and that takes the battery out, and then you push it back in like that. And one of the things I've heard online is that people have had a lot of these batteries fall out during flight. I haven't had that issue, but I would definitely, I mean, each one of these two tabs is supposed to work independent of itself on the side here. So like if you pull one to release and you don't pull the other one, it's not going to pop out. You got to do them both at the same time and it slides right off. But yeah, just make sure when you put the battery on that you hear that click, and then I always like to pull on the battery itself. That's probably my #1 piece of advice on this drone. Pull on that battery, make sure everything's good there. Another thing that took me a little while to learn, because I'm not big on, like, the instruction manual for this thing is trash, in my opinion. It's just not. They could simplify it a lot. DJI, make the instruction manual something someone will want to read. But you grab the motor and you push down on the propeller, okay? And then when you push down on it, you're going to turn it, I think clockwise, and the propeller will just simply come right off. And then you got a little spring on here, but it will not come out. I haven't had any issues with that spring coming out. Now, to know, you got to remember these propellers. If you look at them, you have a little white circle on two of them. See those two that are opposite each other? They're little white circles. Now, the other ones, see that? No white circle, no white circle. On the motor, no white circle. Okay, so I'm going to put this back on. Push it back on, it locks into its little place. Make sure you turn it and it drops in, and then make sure you ensure that it's on there all the way. Now if you go over here to the white circle one and you turn that one, now underneath there you see those two white lines on that motor. Those two white lines have to correspond with the one with the white circle. Okay, if you don't pay attention to that, you can put these on wrong, I believe, and it will not fly right. And that's very important because they're opposite pitches on the blades. So put that one back on. So that's the blades. You get 4 extra blades in the case. And check your tips of your blades. If you ever hit anything with these, typically what's going to happen with my experience is you're going to get a little teeny tiny split in the tip of your blade. And so just make sure you're looking at these. I see lots of people online. Almost every day somebody on the forums has one they crash. What almost always happens is they break right here. So I mean, this thing's tough though. I mean, I think this is still a completely good choice for a drone in 2019. I want to say that also. Like, they're getting cheaper and cheaper, which is awesome, and they're still performing amazing. I love the performance. It's not lacking to me. It does just good enough for me. I'm not a professional drone pilot or anything like that, but I really do get some good footage with this thing. You can look back on my videos. I took it all with this DJI Spark. Now another thing that people have issues with, I haven't had it yet, I hope I don't, but these little cups on the bottom of here, I don't know if they, I don't know how they even are supposed to come on and off. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know how you even get those on and off, but people are having the issue of them falling off. I'm not going to try to remove one. I might look it up and see how it happens, or if you guys know how to remove that, let me know in the comments, or let us know in the comments. You know, feel free to have conversation on here. But yeah, they have those fall off. So if you own one, maybe just check those. Make sure they're tight. Okay. The other thing is, let me put this down. The other thing you get with the Fly More package, which is cool, is this little case. Okay. And here I keep all my goodies. I got a little pouch that I bought separate, or I stole from my ex-wife, and I keep all my cords in there, my charging cords. Okay. Then you get the controller. Okay. Now, this thing, I'm not going to get into binding this thing. You're just going to have to learn that on your own. It's not necessarily fun. I don't even really know exactly how I finally got it to work. It was a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it's not horrible. But this is another thing you need. And this is a cable that basically any way you can get your iPhone, if you have an iPhone, or if you have an Android, get an Android plug. You have to get that to convert to the old school USB cord. And what you do with that is, on the controller, this is really important. You put that old school USB port into the back of your controller right there. And then once you have everything all set up, you can put your phone on fly mode, or you can leave it on regular. Either or, I've never noticed a difference. And then you plug that into your phone, and then you have a direct link. Okay, so that's really important. Definitely get that. That does not come with it. You don't have to use that. You can use Bluetooth, but I have not had one single issue. You have to have a solid lock on this thing, and I just recommend it. From what I've seen on the forums, people do that, and I haven't had one single issue with return to home. Probably the #1 most important feature of these drones, to me at least, is the GPS on them. Okay, you always want to have a GPS lock. Before you ever take off with this thing, make sure you have a GPS lock. Make sure you check your wind speed at altitude. I have the app on my phone, Altitude Pro or something like that, but make sure you check your wind speed at altitude, okay? Because just because the wind's 10 miles per hour down low, if you didn't know, you could be up at 400 feet or 500 feet or 600 feet, however high you want to go, and the wind's going to be multiples of 3, 4, 5, okay? So it could be 10 miles per hour on the ground, and it could be 40 or 50 miles per hour in the air. I'm just saying, if you get up past 30 mile per hour winds on this thing, it's going to have a hell of a time returning itself. It could do everything right, have a GPS lock, you lose connection, it's flying along, and then hang on a second, I got a battery thing. All right, you lose connection, it's flying along, beep 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 beep, lose connection, return to home, return to home. The drone will return to home on its own if you don't give it any input. It turns around, and now it's flying into 30 mile per hour wind, and then maybe 40 mile per hour wind, and all of a sudden your drone's flying this way, but it's moving this way, and you're going to be out looking for this thing for a hot minute, and it's just, you don't want to do that. So just check your wind speed. Check your wind speed. Check your wind speed. Have a strong GPS lock. Have that connection with your controller. Make sure you charge your controller before you fly this thing. Every time you go out and fly it, get your controller out. Okay? Get your controller out. Just look at it and click the power button. See that? 4 bars. Always have 4 bars on the controller, okay? And then another thing you might want to look into doing with this is getting one of these parabolic antenna thing. You fold it out and take the antennas, okay, on your thing here, on your controller. You got wide and small. You got a wide side and a littler side. Take the wide side, slip it over the antennas. Just let the antennas rest on top like that, facing the drone with these reflectors here, and that's going to increase your range, but it's also directionally sensitive highly. So wherever you're at with the drone, you got to be in that direction. If you're not sure where you're going to be at with the drone, then don't use this, and it will be you'll be shooting signal all over the place. The reason why these work is it takes all the signal that's coming back towards you and going up and everywhere else, and it shoots it directly out towards the aircraft. So those are cool, and they're super cheap to pick up. So literally 70 or 80 flights, or however many I have on this thing, I haven't really had any serious issues other than user error with the wind. I made that wind mistake and I had to go find it. But yeah, get the Fly More pack. I'll post a link in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I tried to tell you the things to watch out for. I don't worry about flying this thing over water. I fly it over water. I fly it all over the place. One other piece of advice, make sure you always know the tallest thing that's around you. So if it's a power line, if it's a tree, if it's whatever, figure out the altitude of that and make sure you stay like 10 feet above the tallest thing within a few miles of you. If you're just going to be ripping around, get that altitude up to where it's safe. Rip around. If you lose connection, it will come back to you, and you won't have to worry about it flying into anything. How they are set up is when they lose connection, they're flying along. It could be at 20 feet. As soon as it loses connection to you, it's going to go directly up. So if you're like underneath the overhang of a tree or a building or something like that, that's when you could possibly run into some issues, because it's going to try to go up to whatever you're set. You could set it in the software, and it's going to try to rise up to its set altitude, but before it does anything to go back to you, it goes up to its set altitude. So mine goes to 98 feet, it stops, and then it hauls ass back to me, as long as there's not a lot of wind. But yeah, that's a review of the important stuff. DJI Spark. I like the little box. Keep it. Keep your Spark in the box. I would really recommend keeping your Spark in this box. Don't take it out and try to put it in that little bag they give you. Keep all your other stuff in this bag. This is just my advice. Keep your Spark and your batteries in this little box, because that's what it's made for, and it really protects the thing, okay? But yeah, like I said, I'll post a link. Please subscribe to my channel for more great content. Let me know what you think my next drone should be. I'm going to be buying another one, hands down, for sure. I'm loving it. They're awesome. So I don't know if I get the Air, if I get the Zoom, if I wait for the next thing, or I might go a different route and get a completely different drone. So just let me know what you think, what your favorite drone is. Let me know what your experiences are, and please interact, because that's what this channel is all about. It's about you, the viewers, and I really appreciate your time, and thank you for watching. CJ Moto out.